Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be producing videos where I talk about living with giftedness. Now, giftedness doesn't have a universal definition. I'm someone that's been able to be high achieving without necessarily putting in the corresponding effort. And I've also had high scores on cognitive tests. So it's really those two things that make me label myself as gifted. So I guess it's really both the speed and learning ability with things like math, logic, words, working memory, and understanding patterns, and problem solving. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's about the stuff that IQ tests at least attempt to measure. Now, based on IQ tests and my lived experiences, I'm about 3 standard deviations up from the mean overall, and about 4 standard deviations up in terms of math. Now, 3 standard deviations up from the mean, that would put me in the top 1 in 500 to 1 in 1,000. Which that might sound like I'm way up there, but the world's a pretty big place. I could really easily not even be in the top 10 million. So based on those numbers, there's a lot of people like me or even far beyond me. And now, whether or not cognitive testing or achievements, whether or not those actually matter, whether or not the stuff they teach you in school actually matters at all, that's a separate topic. I'll get into that later, but it doesn't change, to me, it doesn't change whether or not I'm gifted. And I'm only claiming giftedness in this particular form of intelligence. Now, stuff like emotional intelligence, social intelligence, creativity, there's many different forms of intelligence, and I'm not going to claim giftedness over there. But I will talk about how everything can be intertwined and how different forms of intelligence relate to each other. And so don't worry, I will get to those topics at some point. So I'm here to share my story as a gifted neurodivergent. I'm here to share my life experiences and perspectives. There's going to be a lot of anecdotes. I am going to try to avoid speaking for other people as much as possible because obviously we are not a monolith. So I do want to emphasize I'm just one data point out of many, many people out there. But that being said, I do hope this is educational, informational, and can help us all connect a little bit better to our fellow human beings. We might have some shared experiences, you and I. Hopefully we do. And if we don't, that's okay. Maybe these videos will help you understand someone close to you and your own life, even if you can't relate to what I'm saying directly. And if not, then maybe there's some entertainment value out of it still. And if we're hitting none of that, go ahead and find a different channel. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, I believe. You should have no problem finding something you're interested in. I'm also explicitly mentioning I don't think I'm special or better. I just think these differences that I have may be interesting to openly document on the internet. And now I'm 22 years old, so hopefully my story is still in the early stages, relatively speaking. I still have a lot of growing up to do. My perspectives and opinions will change over time. I'm nowhere near a finished product. I don't want to come off that way. I'm not an expert or an authority figure on cognitive testing, intelligence, giftedness, or really anything else. I'm just being upfront. I'm not going to pretend to be one. I'm just sharing my opinions and my experiences. But I'm excited to embark on this journey. I see 2 possible paths going forward. Either I find some success telling these stories on the channel, and it gives us all an opportunity to become a little bit closer to our fellow human beings, which would be a great thing and is one of the goals for me. Or nothing happens. Maybe I'm overestimating the significance of the differences in terms of giftedness or in terms of neurodivergence. And I would actually love that. I don't really want these differences to be so meaningful, yet I'm skeptical of how much choice I actually have in that matter. Now, what are my plans? I have different topics and stories in mind, and I plan to post videos about this. So some of this will just be stories. Some of this will also maybe telling you how my brain works as best as I can. Maybe I will also try to show you how it works if that doesn't come across otherwise. But beyond that, it's largely up to you all. So I don't really know exactly what direction this will go, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. So thank you really for checking the channel out. I do appreciate it. The comments are always open. Feel free to send me an email if you want to connect about anything. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see this project grow. Peace.